Okay, so I know that you guys want to see Dani Olmo and Nico Williams being signed. Many have been asking what happened to these two operations. Why is this deal never done? Is Joan Laporta doing anything? Is Joan Laporta just busy eating? What's going on? Is Barcelona still a serious club? I understand. I truly understand why everybody here is confused about these two operations. But let's talk about it, right? It says here, according to Ferran that Deco met with the agents of Dani Olmo to discuss the potential signing. Olmo and Nico Williams are key targets for Barcelona. The club prioritizes Williams, but aims to sign both players. To do so, the club must first resolve the issue with Barca Studios, the financial lever, and to comply with the 1-1 rule. Afterward, to bring in both attackers, someone will have to leave. Barcelona have offered Olmo a 6-year contract and negotiations are ongoing. Now, before we continue, I want to make one thing very clear. I have been hearing some comments stating that why is Javier Tebas helping Barcelona sign these two players? Barcelona is cheating. Barcelona are not doing things the correct way. Listen, bro, if there is one thing that you must know, it is this. It is Barcelona against the world. It is Barcelona against La Liga. It is Barcelona against Javier Tebas. If you guys have been watching us over the past 4 years, Javier Tebas has never allowed for Barcelona to spend in the way that they should be spending. We have been so restricted, so tied up, that even though Barcelona, yes, did have money in their accounts, Javier Tebas continued to say every season, no, you're only allowed to spend 20% of what you have. No, you're only allowed to spend 30% of what you have. No, you're only allowed to spend 21% of what you already have. No, you can't sign this player. Nope, let go of that player. Listen to what has been going on and go look at what has been going on in the past 2 years. Xavi Hernandez was trying to sign players in the summer of 2023, and if anything, he lost players. We did not only not buy players, but we lost players thanks to Javier Tebas. Javier Tebas said, no, I'm sorry, this is going to be the wage bill. No, you can't spend this money for a certain player. Dembele left because he saw a bigger offer at PSG. He left. Xavi needed Dembele, but Dembele left. Sergio Busquets left. Xavi at that time in 2023 wanted Dani Olmo, a player that we are going to be signing this summer. He could not come in. Bernardo Silva could not come in. Messi could not come in. Kimmich also could not come in. There's been so many players that Barcelona have wanted, whether it's through, who cares, right? Ronald Koeman, Xavi Hernandez, Quique Setién, you name it. Any coach, especially with Xavi Hernandez, that we could have not signed. We couldn't. And you want to come here today and say, Kevin, Barcelona's being helped by Javier Tebas. How can Barcelona sign Dani Olmo and Nico Williams? No, you're wrong. You have to listen, right? Listen to what Barcelona is doing. We're finally starting to sign players after 4 years, and in a comfortable way, of course, not through pulling levers, selling 90% of the club, or starting an OnlyFans. We're no longer doing that. We're doing everything in a very respectful, professional way. We're going back to the 1-1 rule. Barcelona have recovered so much, and Javier Tebas has no choice but to give Barcelona the 1-1 rule back and to finally sign like a normal club. And that is why Joan Laporta and Deco are going for Nico Williams and Dani Olmo, two players who will be costing more than 50 million euros. Yes, we did that back in 2022 when we got Koundé, Rafinha, Lewandowski for like 50 to 55 million euros each, right? But that is because we had to sell assets. This summer, we don't have to do that. So we're not getting help from anybody. Joan Laporta has just been doing the correct work from a sporting level and from a financial level. Gerard Romero has also claimed that Barcelona's intention remains the same, and that is to bring Nico Williams and Dani Olmo. Deco also had a 2.5-hour meeting this afternoon, which was yesterday, in Barcelona with the two agents, and they still want to maintain the aim to negotiate for a potential transfer of the Leipzig player. And I don't know if you guys have seen the live stream of Gerard Romero last night, but he was giving us clues about Barcelona and the two operations. And Gerard Romero said, I have to leave a mark of something so that you trust me and so that I do not change the information that I have to put here. And he was giving us like this symbol or like a few dates. It says 2407 and then like 2045H. I don't know what that signature means on the right side, but many have been speculating that Gerard Romero knows that Barcelona have already signed Nico Williams and Dani Olmo, but he just does not want to put it out there because out of respect for the players' wishes. And so I don't know, you can take this with a grain of salt, but I believe Barcelona have accomplished the two signings. Now it's a matter of waiting to see the club announce the two signings out of nowhere. We will be talking about how Nico Williams and Dani Olmo both will fit under Hansi Flick's Barcelona. It should be a very exciting topic. I cannot wait to do that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, click on the alerts button so you guys can see exactly when I do upload those videos, because we are going to be talking about from a technical standpoint how they will both fit. It's going to be so much fun. So now moving on from that conversation, I also do want to speak about Ferran Torres and Lewandowski. We have a very strange report regarding these two players because it does seem like Hansi Flick will be counting on these two players for his number 9s. And it says here, according to 21 Morty, that Hansi Flick counts on Lewandowski Lewandowski and Ferran Torres as his number 9s. The coach does trust the abilities of both of them in the penalty zone. Flick has always been clear that Lewandowski would be his striker, and from the first day, he also conveyed that Ferran's characteristics were in the line with what he expects from an alternative option in certain game situations, especially in second halves when matches do open up. And oh my god, dude, I cannot believe what I am hearing right now. Hansi Flick trusts Ferran Torres to be his second option in the number 9 position. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Xavi Hernandez took the exact same approach last season. He made the same decision. Xavi said, I want Ferran Torres as my second option over Vitor Roque. How many times last season did we say, why does he continue to put Ferran Torres over Vitor in the 9th position? Why can't he just put Vitor? Is Vitor Roque that bad? Oh my god, Xavi out, Deco out, Joan Laporta out. The Barcelona fanbase was becoming Vitor FC, and now we're seeing Hansi Flick take the exact same position. He does not trust Vitor Roque. He does see Ferran Torres as his second option, and he believes that Ferran Torres is good enough. Now, Ferran Torres is not going to be in the preseason because of the Euros. He is going to be getting some rest, even though I don't think that, it doesn't make any sense because Ferran Torres did not see a lot of minutes in the Euros. It was mainly Olmo, Pedri, Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal, and Morata. But who cares, right? Ferran Torres is not going to be in the preseason, but expect a big season for Ferran to be coming up. If you look at the past 7 seasons that he has had, his best season so far was in the 2020-2021 season, which was his first season with Man City. He played 36 matches, scored 13 goals, and provided 3 assists. He almost reached those numbers in the 2023-2024 season with Barcelona by providing 11 goals and 3 assists. And so I don't know if you guys can tell, but he is slowly gaining his form. Also keep in mind that Ferran Torres was one of the best goal scorers for Barcelona last season. And just like Gundogan writes in my most recent video, why would you let go of a player that contributed in a lot of goals last season? Ferran Torres was very important, and maybe Hansi Flick does see something in him that he can exaggerate, right? I think that he can improve Ferran Torres in so many levels. And honestly, if Barcelona were to sell Ferran Torres this summer, he would be sold for a very low fee. No clubs would be willing to pay more than 50 million euros for the player, and that would be a huge loss because we paid 55 million back in 2021. There were some bids that was showed to Barcelona for around 20 million euros. No thank you. A player like Rafinha and him being sold would make much more sense from a financial standpoint because we paid 58 million euros and there has been bids for the player for around 85. Now that, my friend, is a huge profit. But selling Ferran Torres for 30 million euros less than we paid for? No thank you. And so let me ask you guys this question. Do you see a position for Ferran Torres next season? Like, do you see a role for him, or do you trust him, or do you not want him in the club? And so now lastly, I do want to make this very quick. It is official. Barcelona have signed Pau Victor from Girona FC, and he will stay with Barcelona until June 30th, 2029. We have talked about this player before. You guys can go check it out in my previous video. Pau Victor is a huge accomplishment for Barca Athletic. He scored 20 goals, provided 6 assists. He's a phenomenal player. Hansi Flick wants to see him in the training sessions with the first team. Barcelona have signed him for 2.7 million euros. If he were to get sold, let's say, for example, Barcelona gets greedy and they sell him for a profit of 15 million euros within the next 2 weeks, Girona do have a 50% right of a future sale if he does leave. If he does leave later in the summer of 2025 or 2026, it does decrease to 30% of any future sale that Girona could potentially gain. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.